Aware for the first time this season, it has been our privilege to bring you Inside the NBA, starring Ernie and Kenny and Shaq and the man who joins us now, the one and only Charles Barkley, live from San Antonio. Charles, I can't thank you enough for doing this, and we have a little time here, so I just wanted to start with a thought on that. You guys have been an institution for a very long time, but the other night was the first time that you guys hosted a game in the NBA Finals. What was that like, and what is it like for you now to be a part of all this?
It was one of the most exciting days in my broadcasting career. You know, I was talking to Ernie about it. I was so excited I didn't take my pregame nap. I mean, it was awesome. You know, number one, I said this at the beginning of the year, working for the greatest sports network ever has been an honor and a privilege. Every kid who's ever touched a ball wanted to be on ESPN. Every kid ever who's touched a ball wanted to be on ESPN. And to go and work with you guys has been awesome. But to get to do the finals, it was exciting, it was fun, and we had a blast.
It was wonderful to watch, and so let's dive in here as we looked ahead to Game 2. The general sentiment I've been getting from both sides is that both feel they could have played better. The Spurs clearly yesterday on their off day said, we think we can play a whole lot better. We don't need to change a lot of stuff. It's more about us than it was about them. And most of the Knicks fan friends of mine think that the Knicks didn't necessarily play particularly well. So what will you be watching tonight in Game 2 at the start that will give you a sense of what we should expect?
You know, Greeny, one of my big regrets of my career, I did not have my team ready to play in Game 1 of the finals. It was different. I thought it was a regular game, but it was totally different. And I didn't have my guys ready to play. I thought that's what happened in Game 1 for both teams. They both were nervous. So I think both teams will play better in Game 2. But I thought both teams played nervous. I thought they played frenetic. I think they'll both calm down, and it's going to be a much better game. Even though it was a good game, neither team did not play well. But I think the Knicks are going to have the same advantages they had in Game 1 and Game 2. Karl-Anthony Towns, I thought that was one of the best games I've ever seen him play. When they had Victor on him, he was aggressive, going to the basket. When they put a little guy on him, he dominated on the offensive board. I think he's going to have those advantages in every game. I've always said all along, he's the key to the series. If he plays well, the Knicks are going to win the series. I mean, Brunson is their closer, but Karl-Anthony Towns, to me, is the key to the entire series.
And how about him staying out of foul trouble? That felt like a big piece of it. The way the game was officiated, they let them play. Brian Windhorst was talking about that earlier this morning. If there's been a problem for Towns historically, it's been his propensity to get into foul trouble. So what are you saying to him tonight if you're Mike Brown?
Yeah, he normally gets 2 stupid fouls a game. But in fairness, he hasn't done that this run. This is one of his best stretch of basketballs I've ever seen him play. He hasn't got dumb fouls at all. But I think one advantage he has, Victor's not that guy that's just going to get the ball in the post and let him dominate. So that's going to help him stay out of foul trouble. If he was playing against a dominant center where they gave him the ball in the post, he does have tendency to get those dumb fouls. But Wemby doesn't play like that. So that's going to help Karl stay out of foul trouble.
He did in Game 1, and we'll see if he's able to do it. He played 18 and 12 and very effectively in that game, and so he may be the most important piece, but clearly it's Jalen Brunson's team, and I would like to get your perspective on him. There's been so much talk about trying to win a championship with the best player on your team being, a smaller guard. You obviously played against Isaiah Thomas in his heyday when he was the leader of those Pistons teams that won a couple of championships. How about Brunson and the way, despite his size, he just manages to get it done, it seems, whenever they need him?
Yeah, I heard that debate on the show several times, and I'm like, I guess they never heard of Isaiah Thomas or Steph Curry. Steph Curry's, I think Brunson bigger than both of those guys. Now, I'm not comparing him to Steph Curry because Steph is the greatest shooter ever, but Isaiah Thomas and Steph both won, I think, 6 championships. So a little guy can win a championship. But I'll say this. If Brunson is able to deliver a championship to New York, it would be the greatest free agent signing ever. I said that a couple of years ago, and people said, well, what about LeBron? And I said, well, don't compare him to LeBron and KD and those guys. I said, but nobody, even the Knicks, thought Brunson was going to be this great. And if he's able to deliver a championship to New York, this would be the greatest free agent signing in NBA history.